Firstly, Team A from Brazil, led on by their captain, number 1, Gilson Junior. Their co-captain, number 5, Alexandra Taniguchi. Number 2, Lucas Junqueira. Number 3, Bruno Damasceno. Number 4, Gabriel Simplicio. Number 6, Alex Patrick. Number 7, Gabriel Feitosa. Number 8, Marcilio Nunes. Number 9, Davi Abreu. Number 10, Daniel Gonçalves. Number 11, Jose Higino. Number 12, Paulo Martinez. And their head coach, Rafael Gouveia, assisted by Brian Muniz and Tomas Pidas. Please get ready to welcome Canada, led out by their co-captain, Trevor Hirschfield, number 10. Followed by co-captain number 12, Patrice Dagenet. Number 2, Travis Morale. Number 7, Byron Green. Number 8, Mike Whitehead. Number 9, Cody Caldwell. Number 11, Fabien Lavoie. Number 21, Anthony Letourneau. 25, Shane Smith. 31, Matt Debley. 33, Zach Manel. 41, Eric Rodriguez. And their head coach is Patrick Cote, assisted by David Wilde. Please stand, if you are able, as we listen to the national anthem of Brazil.
Good morning and welcome from Vejle, Denmark. My name is Dave Mengen. I'm joined by Chris Ryan, and we are going to talk you through this Pool B game between Brazil and Canada. Both of these teams have struggled here this week. Canada's been in some barn burners, but they've had difficulty, haven't been able to pull it out. They did beat Colombia yesterday pretty handily. Brazil, on the other hand, their tournament has not gone at all the way they'd hoped. Personnel issues, a couple people who didn't make the trip, and one who was classed up. So their lineups are a little bit different than they have been training for the past year or so. But they're here to play, and they're going to work hard. They've got some good players, as does Canada. I think this one's going to be exciting.
Yeah, as you say, Canada had a couple of losses already, and they'll really be looking to, gain some momentum and try and get into those quarter-final games. I think they could still be a bit of a dark horse. They played pretty well against Australia earlier in the tournament, but just let it slip through their fingers. So let's see how they bounce back from that.
As you know, they won Quad Nations just a couple weeks ago in Cardiff. And they are one of those teams you cannot just let hang around because they will make you pay for it later.
Exactly.
So it looks like Zach Medell, number 33 for Canada in red, will jump against number 7, Gabriel Feitosa. Both with a long reach, but as you see, Medell is a little further away from the line because he's going to hop up on one wheel and reach for that ball.
The crowd filling up inside the arena. It's great to see.
Looks like we got some secondary school kids up there.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And off we go. Canada, Brazil. To start off our day, we have 8 games today, the final games in pool play.
And we're underway. Zach Medell with the first possession for Canada, and the first
Medell making that first one look easy. Kind of trying to set the stage.
Going to be seeing a lot of that, I think. Zach's so smooth, the way he moves in his chair. Almost looks like he's gliding around.
He makes it look completely effortless. Down, I'm guessing that's going to be Abreu.
Great hit there from Cody Caldwell as Abreu was trying to catch and pass that ball. Early
Caldwell,
turnover.
number 9 for Canada. He's working down here on number 2, Lucas Junquera. They're just kind of winding around. They just kind of came in the corner here view for a second, but
so
that was Abreu. Nunez, number 8, out there with him. Mercilio had a pretty good game yesterday.
Brazil dropped into a key defense, 2 in, 2 out at the moment.
France, so far, the darling of this tournament. They have gone undefeated.
Yeah, they had a hell of a day yesterday, didn't they? Beating USA and Great Britain.
Yep. Was quite a day for France.
Good wheels back from Tozer. Medell cuts him off. He's looking for a break. There's no room there.
They won the last European Championship.
Great business by Tozer.
Great pushing from Feitosa there, having his first battle with Zach. Coming out on top that time.
Travis Morao, number 2, gets his first push across half. Oh, not quite. Oh, that's an errant pass. Whoa, so lucky Canada with the bounce. Right through the lap of Abreu.
Really good defense though there from Brazil.
And we'll get to see this replay so that Abreu can watch it when he gets home. He thought that was going to bounce lower. He reached out in front of his knees and went right over the top of him. Brave fighting to get across half. Vejle was hoping that was going to come to his left so he could just score the try.
He did really well to pull that ball in, didn't he? It looked like it was going out of bounds.
Yeah, it went over the opposite shoulder. But still plenty of time for a guy like that to grab it. Morale. It's a little help from Medell. Gives it to him. So Byron Green, the other Canadian out there, number 7 in the low point chair. Helping to double team Abreu over here. Medell chasing Vejle across the line. Gets in a reach. He's always going to be going after that ball. Corner's open on this side. Pass knocked down. And Medell, you can see he's just pumping the piston.
See, Medell's got some tape on his left arm. I didn't see that on the first day. It's something you see at tournaments like this, more and more physio tape going on players as the tournament wears on.
Yeah, you'll see that colored tape all over their shoulders and their arms. Not as much today. Vejle trying to work around Medell, gets a pick. And takes it across, making it 5-3. Canada with the 2-try edge. Another Medell-Vejle battle.
It's the first I've seen of Vejle this week. He seems, a really agile player.
He has been really tough. Unfortunately, his line isn't the line that he would like to be working with. But he's working with what he's got. And the pass over the top. Medell, pressure. It's interesting, Simon's doing play-by-play over the speaker in the arena. Vejle knocked down by Medell.
Brazil really struggling to beat that key that Canada are setting out.
Well, Canada knows it's strong, but they're also just creating opportunities there. Off Medell's hand, head, and into his lap, and across the try line he goes. Abreu can't get out. Now he's got to call timeout.
Really intense start here from Canada, doing exactly what the coach would have been asking of them. Come out strong. Trying not to let Brazil get into the game.
It's almost distracting having play-by-play going on in the arena. Maybe just because we're trying to do the same thing. So substitutions for Brazil, that'll be Junior Gilson inbounding. Bruno Damasceno, number 3, working with Taniguchi, who we refer to as Japa, his nickname number 5, and Goncalves, number 10, Daniel Goncalves. I'm sure I'm pronouncing some of those not quite the way their moms do, but hopefully you know who I'm talking about. Medell and Caldwell working together. And Caldwell will get that try. It's interesting to watch how differently the ball handler will manipulate the defense to try and create that space for the number 2 who's waiting for that pass, the post, as we like to call it.
Yeah, it's all about drawing the defender's attention.
Yeah, you're trying to force one man to cover more space and get one of your guys underneath the defense. So in that key, one of those people up top, their job is to keep somebody out. And all the plays are designed to get people in.
So quite an interesting line this from Brazil. Three 2.5 players, so expect a lot of ball movement. They should all have decent passes, some decent speed as well.
Joppa across the line, but he is going to be over and back if he doesn't call timeout, but he did.
Shane Smith, Trevor Hirschfield, and Patrice Dagenet.
So Dagenet, number 12, takes the corner. Smith, 25, in the middle. And Trevor Hirschfield will take up the far corner. Hirschfield, number 10. Lots of experience on this Canadian team.
We were commentating on Canada yesterday, weren't we? And Shane Smith had a really good game.
He's a fireball.
He is. He's that spark plug for them, defensively. He loves to defend.
Well, and you were saying yesterday that he just puts out 100% effort all the time, and it brings up the play of the rest of the team. Played a couple of pretty epic battles against he and Matt Debley back. Ontario would send their Division II team over to play against us when we had a tournament. And, before Shane and Matt rose to this level, we had some great battles. It was always fun to win one of those. Liddell makes it 10 for Canada.
I'm correct in saying you're teammates with Matt Debley?
Yes, Matt joined my team this year. Once in a while, we'll go over and practice with his guys over in Ontario, and he comes to practice all the time for us. And now with Chuck Aoki moving into town, we've got a pretty good squad.
Yeah.
Liddell again, deceptive reach. And that's why you don't raise your hands up to block a pass before the pass goes up, because you don't want people to see what you can stop. And that one goes right by Joppa, number 5.
Yeah, it gives them the target to throw over, doesn't it?
It does. You basically have set the standards. So like, okay, now I know how to get by you. Generally, we want you hitting the chair instead of reaching for the ball anyway, until that pass is coming out.
Ooh.
Dell almost went over, but so much trunk.
Trevor seems to have sealed this corner. Trevor Hirschfield there.
Wow. He could have set up a couch in that hole.
The two captains on for Canada together.
Canada swarming the D.
Great skills to get over halfway in front of Damasceno.
And Bruno, number 3 for Brazil. It's the try. Feitos is getting his shoulder rubbed down. If something's bothering him, or it's just a ongoing nagging kind of injury. When you're an athlete at the top level of any sport, you're going to play with pain. You're going to play with injuries.
Yeah.
They did something to him on the sideline. He came back out. You could see him grimacing plenty of times. You could see he was nursing it a little bit, but he was still pushing. else went down hard yesterday is Chuck Melton. He hit his head on the floor and was bleeding. I think he just hit it in, you know, that spot where the blood vessel is. But
Is he okay?
hopefully he's okay. They said he passed concussion protocol. So hopefully this morning he's still feeling well and he'll be able to play. Joppa dives right in. Big hole created there. Junior and looks like it was Bruno.
Goncalves buying the fake there from Zach.
Once Zach Medell gets out in front of this line for Brazil, there's going to be no stopping him. Feitos is the only guy on this line who can catch him. And he'll come back out here when we have a stoppage, as Brazil prepares to substitute all 4 players. Oh, down goes number 3, Bruno. They didn't call that a spin. I think they said it was just incidental, although he was clipped from, you know, got caught in the back of his wheel.
So what happens in this scenario is when a player falls, if the ball is ahead of that player, you can carry on, but if the person with the ball turns back towards that person that's on the floor, the referees call a equipment. Yeah, so, you know, just for the safety of the player, really.
Right, and the other situation where they'll stop play is if the player upside down is close to the ball and close to the action, they'll stop it so that he doesn't get hurt. Because we've seen people get hit, and it's not a good situation. Very vulnerable when you're on the floor and these chairs are flying around. Eugenio, number 11. Working for that one. And now we get to see the race. We need to talk to the organizers about the skill competition for next Worlds. I think that would be super exciting. Higuino breaks across half. Smith coming at him.
Higuino sneaky fast there.
Hirschfield almost got that one. And Feitosa hung up on the chair of Higuino. And now he'll back into the... Oh, I thought he was going to make that one, but Hirschfield got his picker behind him. And now we have leaving the court. It looks like Shane Smith was pushed across the line by a Brazilian player, so he will go sit in his shame in the corner.
You could see he was disappointed with himself there.
You know, you're trying to make something happen there, and you're very close to that line. Somebody can catch you from behind if you're not really aware of everything that's going on. And sometimes even if you are, you just get yourself in a position where it's the best defensive position for you, but it also puts you in a vulnerable position to get punched across. Shot clock almost gone. I don't see them on in the corner. Oh, there's no shot clock. It's 2 seconds left in the quarter. That's what they're counting down. The shot clocks are broken. 15-9 Canada leads Brazil as we go into the first 3-minute break. Now Canada has another one today, big one. They play Denmark at 6 p.m. But this will be the last one for Brazil. I think they'll relish the time off before they play again on Friday.
Yeah, that Canada-Denmark one, like you say, really important. That will likely decide who they play in the quarterfinals, and you know,
certainly. That should be a great game. Denmark has played really well. Overtime with Japan. They struggled with Colombia some. Colombia went 3 quarters. They went toe-to-toe, but Denmark finished them off.
been really impressed with Colombia this week from the couple of games that I've commentated on. You know, like you said, gave Denmark a really good game, and I think we're leading, or we're at least tied with Japan after one quarter.
Wow, so 6 turnovers by Brazil. Very telling why Canada has none.
So Brazil, if my maths is correct, roughly around a 60% conversion rate there. You know, to beat a team like Canada, you need to be looking high 80% or even early 90s.
Well, Medell leads everybody in statistics, obviously. He's going to score the most tries. He's got 10, which is more than Brazil has. And he has 4 assists. So he's very Zach Medell in this game, is he not?
Yeah, I think he's had a couple of steals as well, hasn't he? A couple of blocks. So yeah, he's getting his business done early.
So 43 seconds left in this break. Get ready to come back to the action. Brazil's going to come out with Marcelo Nunez, number 8. Eugenio, number 11. Looks like Feitosa, I think he's number 7. Can't see his number. And Junqueira, number 2, will inbound. Canada running with Hirschfield, number 10, Dagenet on the opposite corner, number 12. And 2 new faces to this game, Matt Debley, who is 31, and Fabien Lavoie, number 11. My favorite players are always number 11. So that's my number. Debley meets Feitosa. Eugenio work back and forth, trying to create something here, get underneath. Finds a big hole. Feitosa drew most of the attention that time, so once he got into the key, Eugenio able to bring it down and take it home. Up comes Debley, gets behind his pick.
Was impressed with him, what I saw at Quad Nations in Great Britain a couple of weeks ago. Debley, you know, really improving, quite composed on the ball.
Yeah, there was a time where I could run with him, but he's way faster than me now. I mean, I could run with him. I couldn't beat him, but I could run with him. He's way, way faster now. And I am not fast.
It's not all about speed.
No, but you can hide so many mistakes with speed. You can get away with so much.
Yeah.
Like, we've got a young guy on our team who is really fast, and his minutes are always good because even when he's not in the right place, if he gets it, he can just go to town with it, and you know, that's hard to beat. He's going to be a good player. He's already had some quality minutes this week. We had a tournament last weekend that I missed because I was here. And as Feitosa crosses the line, Brazil now has 12, Canada 17.
Good lineup for Debley to come on in as well. You know, playing with the 2 captains, 2 really experienced one-point players, and Fabien Lavoie, who has been around as long as I remember.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's no rookie himself. And he'll try and take Feitosa one-on-one. Eugenio passes it out. Met there by Lavoie. Delby gets his kick in. Feitosa just weaving back and forth, finds his way through, muscles through the pick, gets the try.
Oh, great hit.
And there you go. That's a great defensive play. As he's trying to catch it, Lavoie gets hit from behind by Feitosa, who creates a turnover. This is an opportunity for Brazil to get one of those 5 back.
As you say, perfect timing on that hit. Something that you need to do as an offensive player is try and fill the defensive chair on your chair, because otherwise that can happen. You know, you give that space, you can get hit at a point when you don't realize.
You can create a lot of turnovers by working somebody's chair, hitting them as they're dribbling, hitting them as they're passing or catching. You know, just like we saw there where he was unable to catch the pass, Lavoie, because of the hit from behind. You can also do that while somebody's throwing it so the pass doesn't go where it's intended.
Yeah.
And it can go to your teammate, it can go off on the side. Either way, it ends up being a turnover. Those are big wins. And you never have to take your hands off the wheels.
Turnover there. Junqueiro just kind of couldn't get the brakes on in time. He entered the court before he had inbounded.
And that's pretty costly, right? They just had a turnover over there from some aggressive play, and that's a completely unforced mental error. And we've all played in gymnasiums where the lines are hard to tell where they are. That's not true here. The contrast between the key and the outer line are not difficult. So yeah, he just let that one slip by, and sometimes you'll see that somebody will get some momentum so they can throw the ball in, and then the pass goes away, the opportunity goes away, and they're not able to stop themselves. And that's just, you know, trying to get yourself in a position so that you can get onto the court quickly and not get stopped. Higuino, Delby, not gonna let him get even out of the key. So Feitosa will bring it up. And Delby there to intercept it. Delby big on that play defensively, both enforcing passes and intercepting them. So a little hook right into the hands of Delby.
Nearly another turnover there. Trevor reached back, but he couldn't corral it in. So still Brazil ball.
Trevor, number 10 for Canada. Working again, getting his hands up there. Lavoie reaches in. A lot of reaching, and Feitosa calls timeout. He saw the shot clock was down to 28. So that hand signal at the table with a closed fist, that tells the referees that Brazil has no more timeouts. And Simon saying the same thing over there.
We're seeing the lineup for Brazil with the 3 2.5 players. It's actually quite useful for those watching at home. They've got their classification numbers on the rear of their chairs.
And all teams are supposed to have that. That's a rule that was added to the WWR when they took away cards, right? We used to have classification cards. We don't use those anymore. And in order to handle the numbering, they were supposed to hang their classifications on the back. So I'm surprised that nobody has called that out in this tournament, unless they changed the rule since they instituted it. But
it's the first team I've seen with them on.
Is it?
Yeah. I used to hate them because they flap around and sometimes they can come off, but
you could secure it to your chair better. But it's interesting because at the time, there was a lot of discussion about, do we continue to use classification cards? And COVID was part of that conversation, right? Because you're constantly touching that card and putting it on the table, and other people are touching it. They were the same thing about whistles and balls, right? When we were considering play, but I think they really just thought that at this level of play, there's no reason for classification cards. First of all, most teams, they know what the other team's classifications are. They've done their homework.
Yeah.
These players have been around long enough that you know what to expect from them. You know, Devley's a 3 and Dagenet's a 1. Hirschfield's a 1, right? You know all those things. But the numbers on the back, I don't know if those were for the fans or for the coaches to make sure that the lines were right, but
yeah, I think
at one point it was a rule.
I think they are for the fans. I remember playing in a tournament in Japan with them on, and they are really useful. It's just if they can make a way where, you know, they don't fall off, and they seem to be doing really well on the Brazil chairs, so maybe they found that way.
Well, they look like they're zip tied on. I just can't tell if they're like laminated or something so they don't tear off. So Hirschfield saves himself, but Joppa unable. Was that Bruno? It's Bruno.
Normally you can't make a substitution after a try, but because of the fallen player,
and Canada will make some substitutions here. Mike Whitehead, number 8, coming on. Anthony Letourneau, 21. And the return of Cody Caldwell, number 9. Caldwell can't get behind his picker. Bruno will do it, gets across, beating Caldwell across the line.
Good pushing that from Caldwell.
Oh, God, Caldwell did a great job of pulling that one down. Whitehead reaching in there, number 8. And Bruno maintains control of his chair, able to push it across the line. So it'll be Letourneau to inbound. Whitehead. Joppa gets his hand in there. They're going to say that's Canada ball. Last touched by Brazil. Joppa, number 5. He's been playing for a very long time. He played in the United States for a while. At least one season, maybe 2. Always fun to see international players come into the United States and play. And it's a great opportunity for them too. We play pretty much every weekend from the end of September until March.
Hard worker.
Goncalves runs out of time, tried to dribble it across the line in front of himself to beat that 12-second clock, but you only have 12 to get across half.
Canada working really well together there. There was kind of 3 of the Canadian defenders in a line, just kind of communicating with each other, not defending the man one-on-one, but just giving him nowhere to push past.
And that 12-second clock was a nice addition. I feel like it's a nice reward for the defense for doing a good job down here in the front court.
It's made the game so much faster as well, isn't it?
Yeah, you'll see higher scores. You'll see a lot more. You'll see a lot less dragging. You know, if a team's struggling to get across half, they're struggling to get across half. And you don't want to see them do that forever. And that's a long 40 seconds. Letourneau with the try makes it 27-18 Canada. Canada still with all 4 timeouts. Just 2.5 minutes left in the first half. And that pass too hot for Joppa to get to. And Bruno will wish he had that one back. Wholesale substitution.
Canada still with 4 timeouts left.
Will they use one at the end of this quarter to make sure they get the final try?
I guess they will if they need to, but you maybe guess that they might control it without having to use it. You know, almost practicing for an occasion where they might not have any.
Defense strong there, but Vejle able to get it across the line to Abreu.
Whitehead going for the reach. Reach is there. He's got such a strong reach, Mike Whitehead, number 8 for Canada. He's you know, got really good hand function, so when his paws get on the ball, it's really difficult to get them off.
Shot clock down to 8, and Vejle gets down the middle to catch that pass. Well done. It's a little sky bomb. Marcilio to Vejle. And Whitehead gets it right back. Vejle back underneath defense. Throws it across to, I guess that was to Abreu, but he wasn't moving, so really no opportunity to adjust to catch that pass. So Caldwell will take over in the corner for Canada.
Just become a little bit disjointed this quarter, I think, Brazil. I feel in the first period, their passing was a bit tighter, you know, finding their guys a bit better. But Canada are putting a lot of pressure on them. So Canada will be trying to score any time really between 50 and 55 seconds.
Only had 9 tries in the first. They had 10 here in the second so far, trying to make this 11. And stuck at the line. He saw the line, he was working down the side of it, and he went right into the chair of Caldwell. That'll be over and back. And you know he's thinking, oh God, why did I do that? Even the coach is like, what? Why did you do that? Caldwell will be patient. 43 seconds, which means we've got about a 4-second shot clock differential. Canada looking like they're just going to work it down and call timeout, or possibly just score and hope that Vejle doesn't catch it and take it.
Looks like
the
a
turnover
contact.
protecting. Whitehead putting his head into his push. And up to Dagenet with 10 seconds remaining. Canada left a lot of time on the clock, but Abreu dropped the inbound. And this will be the end, 31-19 of the first half. We'll go into a 10-minute break here. Canada looking solid. Brazil really struggling so far in this one. Hopefully they can make some changes, turn some things around here at the half.
Yeah, it just seems, you know, like the little things, like even just that last play there, the pass was just behind the receiver, and it just slows things down. You have to, you know, pick it up again, and it's, you know, you see the way Canada are playing, everything's smooth, everyone's rolling, you know, everyone's moving forwards. The passes are on point and in the player's lap. So I think it's, you know, I think the coach will probably be telling his team to, you know, try and get the fundamentals right. You know, work in this second half to gain a bit more confidence in that area, and, you know, maybe talk to each other a bit more communication.
I think that's a good point, because really they want to go into their next game, whatever that game is, with some confidence. And I think that if you spend some time in this game focusing on let's just play good rugby. Let's not throw these balls away. Let's we're going to turn it over. We're going to run out of time. Canada is very strong, but if you can try and create or try and play as cleanly as possible, those are things you can carry with you into the next game, and good habits instead of bad. Plus confidence, right? If they're struggling and they're throwing the ball away, that's double the pain that you take with you, right?
Yeah.
If I'm struggling, but I'm at least making good passes and I'm making good decisions and I'm communicating, I have those things that I can lean on and say, well, we're doing these things right. Let's keep doing these things, and that will get us the win in the game or in the next game.
100%.
This is a great montage of Feitosa fighting his way through defenders. So in totals at this point, 13 turnovers by Brazil and 2 by Canada. That almost defines the difference in the score. Obviously, you have first and last goal, which is 8 tries, right? If you get those 8 tries, even with no turnovers, you're going to win.
Yeah, it's a key part of the game. We often see it mis-executed, don't we? Teams try and run down the clock, and they actually get turned over
all the time.
But it's one of those things, you have to do it.
Well, you have to be able to do it.
Yes.
Digging through statistics here. The tries are pretty well spread out, but, other than the 10 by Medell, but we haven't seen him in a little while.
Yeah, he seems to come on, have his impact, and then, take a breather and get himself ready for potentially a really important game for them later on.
So since Brazil is in Pool B, their next game will be at 12:15 tomorrow. And I think, do Germany and Switzerland play today? Or have they already played? It's interesting that people were saying that Pool B was the tougher pool, but New Zealand and Germany have looked really good this week.
Yeah, they have. I mean, Germany had a cracking game, didn't they, with Great Britain?
As did New Zealand. Yeah, Great Britain is the surprise of the tournament for me from a disappointment perspective, right? I had really high expectations. Obviously, they're missing a key player, but like they had France last night, and France able to turn things around. I think you said they picked up the last 3 tries of the game. They were down 2 and 1 by 1, and it all happened in a very short period of time.
Yeah, I mean, that game though was. Until the fourth quarter, that was a promising game for Great Britain. It was probably the best they've played this week. They'll probably know themselves that they've probably underperformed against New Zealand, Germany, and even the Swiss. But the way they played up until the fourth quarter against France will hopefully give them some confidence going into the rest of this tournament. They've still got a good chance of finishing second in the group, and yeah, like you say, it has been a little bit of a disappointment for them, but you'd rather that happen now than at the end of the tournament, right?
Absolutely, especially since we've got a couple extra games here on this one. I think the teams will play 8 games if they're in the medal or the top crossover. So unlike in a normal, like in an 8-team pool, you can lose one game on the first day and already know you're out of contention for a medal.
Yeah.
That's not going to be true here. So we'll see the number 1 team in a pool play the number 4 team in the other pool tomorrow. So we have 6 games tomorrow. 12 teams, 6 games.
I do like the new format. I mean, you look at Pool B, and you've got the 4th ranked team in that group in Denmark, you know, able to run with the very best of them. They beat Australia in the Paralympic Games, actually in their first Paralympic game ever. They beat Australia, and then, you know, this week they had probably the game of the tournament so far with Japan, the world number 1. They took them to overtime, and it all but looked that Denmark had that game, but for one turnover, a minute and a half in. And you know, that's why this format for me is great. You've got that 4th ranked team, but they got a chance to mix it with the best in the crossovers.
Yeah, I love the idea of it. I'm going to try not to make a judgment on it until I've seen it a couple of times. But it feels like it's a great opportunity for teams to redeem themselves if they have a rough outing, right? Because sometimes you can spend it all in a game, and you know, we've got 2 games a day sometimes. You might not have anything left for that next game, right? And I kind of felt like France had done that against the U.S., that they'd spent it all there, and that's why GB was taking them down, and they dug deep and they found it and were able to get it done. But you could see a situation where that could occur. So I like the idea of having redemption in a tournament, because this Worlds means a lot, not just for the bragging rights of we're world champions, but it's about money for programs. Like we saw Great Britain as a perfect example. 1 try away from playing for a medal in Rio, lost their funding, and fortunately didn't kill the program, and winning the Europeans helped bring that funding back. And obviously a great showing at the last Paralympics, winning the gold medal. So in all the teams, their funding is based on their performance. So they all have to do well here to make sure that they will be able to continue and grow stronger instead of stagnating. There's some programs out there that haven't really gone anywhere, and I don't know if that's about funding or if they can't find new players. Who knows?
It's a shame. It's a shame when that happens, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, when your player base continues to get older, you're going to have trouble getting better.
Yeah.
Because there's a threshold at which you start to decline just because of time. And you look at a lot of the teams out here, they're grooming new players to take over for the older guys who have been playing for a long time, is succeeding and excelling. But the rest of the world is chasing you at all times.
It's an interesting point. It's obviously in this game, developments happen, and new techniques and tactics come in, and it's very difficult to overtake the experienced players as a young player, because those guys that have 15, 20 years experience also continue to get better.
So Canada gets the first try of the second half.
Lovely pick and roll there from Goncalves. Can't miss him with those arm sleeves on.
No. I think he's raising breast cancer awareness. Matt Debley up on top. Debley, number 31, will get the try. Inbounding is Junior, number 1. Bruno to Joppa. And Goncalves coming back to make a crack block. Actually cracked his own player, but he got out. Oh, Bruno did a great job corralling that ball. Came too low at his knees, but he was able to pull it inside between them and show control as he crossed the line.
2 great pick and rolls from Goncalves to give Brazil 2 easy tries there. So maybe they spoke about that in the half time. Maybe trying to tighten up on their offensive patterns.
Waiting for our inbounder at the baseline, Junior. Hirschfield working on Bruno. Gets it across to Goncalves, who waits for Junior to come and give him a lead block. Now he'll get rid of it. Just a matter of where. Bruno in the middle, Goncalves in the corner. Joppa has the other corner opened up for him by Junior. So he had 3 opportunities. He took option C. When you're designing plays in the key, you're looking at the 4 potential gaps there, 1 in each corner and 2 on the other side of the center guy in the key. They had opportunities in 3 of them. Canada answers back quickly, and it's 35-22. Goncalves is doing a great job today of working with that picker. Nice little turn there, and gets the try.
Only 2 minutes into this 3rd period, but Brazil already seem to have come out a little bit more consistent, I would say. You know, their offensive patterns look good, not taking all of the shot clock to score.
Definitely does a good job getting his chair turned around so he can make a good pass. And Lebois there to receive it. Debley tries to take Goncalves into the cone. He does, but not before Goncalves gets the try. So we'll get a nice replay here. Casters go across, and as the chair rotates around, he takes that cone out too.
Interesting playing, seeing this Brazilian lineup with the 3 2.5 players. Sometimes in a lineup like that, it can be difficult to have, set roles. But it seems like Goncalves is their
number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, we generally define those roles 1, 2, 3, 4, right? It's interesting because Bruno, number 3, is taking the inbound, but I almost feel like he's the 3 in this situation. And to have a 2-5 as your 3, that's a pretty good situation.
Yeah.
Because I would think just the sheer experience of Joppa puts him as their 2. He's a smart player.
Just a fumble there. Oh.
Wow. A caused fumble, right?
Yeah.
And that's why Hirschfield has his hand in your lap all the time. He just dragged his hand across the ball, it spun and popped out.
One of the sneaky reaches in the game. you think he's going past you, and he kind of sticks that arm out quickly and gets quite a few stops.
Canada back in the key. And Jabba able to get in the middle to receive that pass for the try. 38-25 our score, 4:33 left in the third period. Wow, showing he is still fast. Once regarded by many as the fastest player in the sport. Of course, there are some super fast guys now.
He's got to send this one. You could see there, he went to signal for timeout, but I think then realised that he had none left.
He knows he doesn't have a choice. He looks up at the clock, no timeout. I zoom in there on the picker on top of the chair of Java. So now Brazil will try their key. And it'll be Whitehead. So we'll take a 1 minute break here. Brazil calls a coach's timeout. And Michael Jackson will help us fill the time. I believe that's Billie Jean.
Classic song. Debley's gloves did remind me of Michael Jackson. He's got the big white gloves on, hasn't he, Debley?
Does he? He needs to have one white glove. He was telling me a couple days ago that he's trying some new stuff, and he really loves the tackiness of the wide receiver gloves.
Okay.
But they're expensive, and the palms will shred. So he's trying to figure out a way to cover the palms so he can use them to push, but still have the fingertips of the wide receiver gloves to be able to get a good grip on that ball.
Well, that's actually the gloves that I use are those wide receiver gloves.
How do you protect your palm? Do you use the red rubber, or
yeah, so
leather?
Yeah, I get some rubber and I glue it onto the glove with some contact adhesive. Mm-hmm. Once that's done, I take it, to a tailor and they stitch it on. It's brilliant. The palm doesn't wear out and you have great grip on the wheel as well. You see a lot of these guys also have like rubber on their gloves there.
Yeah. Well, the rubber lasts longer than the gloves. I go through a pair of gloves a game. But, I have inexpensive gloves. They're like $3 a pair, so I'm okay with that. But I do, in order to keep my hands from getting bruised and blistered, I wear bicycle gloves underneath that are no fingertips.
Right.
So they're like gel-based along your palm, and I find they work really great because they're really snug on my hand. But yeah, look at the rubber. Some guys let that rubber flap a lot, and some go to your extreme and they'll have it sewn on so that it doesn't move at all, right? Because especially when you're a more offensive player, you saw he had it on the back of his glove because he's using the back of his hand to push. But those of us who push with the front, it's the palm of our hands where we need that rubber. The gloves and the straps are key components of a rugby player, unless you are somebody like Orozco who will go gloveless. It's always the quad amps the amps that have no gloves, because I think that comes from basketball.
Right.
In fact, I don't think other than tape there's anything on Vejle's hand, at least one of them. Whitehead gets the try, 41-26. Canada leads, 3:13 left in the third. Nice pass there to Whitehead. He didn't really have to make any correction at all to pick that one up. And it'll be Yunkira trying to inbound here to Higino. Feitosa way out front. Letourneau stuck at the line, smartly pulls up before Feitosa causes him to go over and back. Travis Morau hands it off to Whitehead. Higino.
Great pass.
Double covered too. Nice little pick there. Higino gets in, keeps both Canadian players away from his ball handler. Divides the key right in half. Higino trying to beat Letourneau. Makes him turn. Up to Whitehead. He had to reach for that one. Now he's looking over at Dagenet. And Pico, number 12, will take that one in.
One of the most memorable games I've ever played was, as Travis Morau does a pirouette. Yeah, one of the more memorable games I've ever played was when we played Brazil in the Rio Paralympics. We were warming up and you know, the arena was about half full. It was really loud, the music was going. But then we went out to be paraded back in for the national anthems and player announcements. And by the time we came back in, 10 minutes later, the place was rammed with like 16, 17,000 people. And you could not hear a thing. So obviously these guys here, as you could see, trying to attack the key. Communication is key.
Sure. Wow, Feitosa chased that down, catches it at the line. You know, I got to see USA practicing the other day, and part of their practice, they were practicing with music very loud to simulate crowd and stadium noise so that people had to learn how to communicate without being able to talk to each other far away.
Yeah.
That's where your nonverbal communication comes in. Hand signals. Head, right? You can just kind of point your head in the direction you want them to throw that ball, and then you're going the other way. You say, I'm coming back. It works great if you're both understand what the message is. Morau, number 2. There in the center of your screen. Feitosa sitting in the middle. Oh, nice job though there by Marcelo Nunez not to cross the line. He was waiting for that pass, didn't get to him, but he had some momentum toward the line. Could have easily been an illegal player.
We saw Mike Whitehead, as soon as he retrieved that loose ball, he looked straight up at the cube that's in the middle of the court.
See how much time they had left?
Yeah, just great awareness. You know, some people might rush after getting that turnover.
6 seconds left in the game clock, and 3 now left in the third. 45-30 in the game clock, on the game clock. So Brazil will let this run out. 45-30 is our score. At the end of 3, we will take another 3-minute break before the final quarter of action. In front of us, after this game, United States and France will play here. Is that right? No, I'm on the wrong day. Sorry. So we got Brazil, Canada now, and United States and Switzerland is up next on this court. On the other court, Australia, Colombia has completed. I'm not going to guess at the outcome there. Germany, New Zealand is starting at 11:15, so any moment now. Other games today on this court: Japan, Australia, Canada, Denmark, which also should be a great game. Japan, Australia is a rematch of the gold medal match from the Australian World Championships 4 years ago. And then we'll finish up today with Great Britain and the United States.
Yeah, you said about United States, France. I wish they were playing again today.
Boy, it was a great game. You know what? I thought USA had it handled. I was going to get lunch in between my working games, and while I was eating, someone came by and said that France beat USA, and I said, no. I said, you're messing with me. He said, nope, they did. So, yeah, certainly a surprise to me.
But I mean, France have shown that, you know, they could be a really good bet at the start of the week. You know, I don't think maybe people thought they might have got through to the quarterfinals or, you know, somewhere like that, but they're really showing that they could potentially, you know, even go on and win this thing.
Absolutely. You know, and they've also shown that both in the GB game and in the United States game that they can be down 3, 4, 5 tries and come back from it. Not just one fluke time, but multiple times. So, you know, they're a force to be reckoned with, for sure. They, I wouldn't be surprised if they did win it.
No, I mean, in Jonathan Hiviner, he's just playing almost perfect rugby at the moment. He's maybe not the fastest three-pointer here, but he makes up for that, you know, with his composure, his game awareness, and he's just not making mistakes, and that's brilliant for your team if your talisman is being that consistent.
There are 6 or 7 teams here that have a chance, have a real chance.
Back to this game, I thought that third quarter was a little bit more consistent there from Brazil.
I'd agree with that.
I think they did give a couple of turnovers away, but they also got one. So yeah, Brazil will be looking for a bit more of the same.
Introduced to the sport by Mateus Campaign, Brazilian ref and good friend of mine.
Feitosa gets the first one of this quarter.
Smith and Byron Green back on for Canada. Smith in possession now.
Smith with the ball. I know we got to have that conversation, don't we?
It's going to be a tough one in this game to pick player of the game. So many of the Canadian players, I would say, stand a chance.
You know, and as you were saying, Brazil, a much better quarter. They only had 3 turnovers that quarter to Canada's 1, where we saw 6 and 7 in the previous quarters.
So that's only losing that quarter by 2 then, roughly, which is pretty good for them.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy.
It's difficult, isn't it? I mean, Zach Medell came out and started that first quarter so brilliantly.
But then he's been gone the whole time, you know. Dudley's gotten a lot of minutes. Caldwell's gotten a lot of minutes. Look at their low pointers. Dagenet played really well. Hirschfield created turnovers. Good defense.
We can't give a team award, can we? It's going to be a tough one.
Well, I think the team award is the win, right? Yeah. We have to give out an individual award. Although I feel really good about the about a low pointer.
So you're thinking one of the 1-pointers for?
I'm leaning that way. What, do you have an opinion on that?
I don't know. I mean, it's so hard to choose between those two. They're both, you know, you often see Hirschfield on the court, but Pico Dagenet is also one of the best one-pointers in the world.
And
so.
Sometimes in an understated way, right? He's in the right place at the right time so that his high pointers can shine, and you don't see that gritty work going on unless you're watching back at the film. Debley saves himself after the try, and that's not a penalty because we're between the whistles. Feitosa pushing toward that corner, trying to draw the defense. Caldwell staying on him.
Really does have a turn of pace, doesn't he, Feitosa? Been impressed with him.
He's got a case for player of the match, too. I mean, obviously, his team not up to the task, but gosh, when he's on the floor. Wow, that was very close to being over and back. He stopped on the line, but the referee's going to say there was no momentum change.
Shane will say who's doing it for the cameras.
Posing. So see, he stops, goes across. Oh, he was not on the line. I was wrong. That was a great play, and of course the referee's right there to make it, which is why she made the right call. Of course, whatever she says is the right call because she's the official, and that's what we do.
Turnover there.
Not able to get it up there.
Just out of Feitosa's reach. Cody needs some help here, Cody Caldwell. Smart call though.
Yeah, he's got 4 of those. He can call that there.
His team kind of left him a little bit there with a 3.5 player in Feitosa, you know, pounding his chair. It can be really tough to get that ball off.
And now we have equipment. Looks like Feitosa has a wheel he needs to get changed. This song coming a little bit late. Aren't we into October now? I think I've used that line before. Shane Smith gets it to Debley.
What a pass from Shane Smith there.
I think those guys are roommates too. I know they're buddies.
Wow, what a pass.
Smith pops it out. Oh, and Debley tried to reel it in.
Don't know if Shane Smith's trying to get some late votes for player of the match.
Well,
looking for that steal there.
He almost got an assist on that try. It pops it out. But Feitosa, with sheer effort, gets that one back. Debley with the try. 51-35 is our score. A little over 3 minutes into this final quarter. Crowd still here for this one. Feitosa trapped at the bottom. Debley stops him with the help of Caldwell, but pass to Abreu. Gets it down. And turning around is Nunez to get the try. And we have another equipment for Feitosa. Looks like he might have a axle pop or a bulge in his tire.
Yeah, it's 2 in quick succession, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. maybe he has some problem with the wheel there because I don't think it was popped. Seemed like he was complaining about the fact that it was rubbing. And that can happen. You get a bulge in the tire or putting, 145 pounds of pressure-ish in those tires. Caldwell, number 9, up ahead to Debley. Caldwell's had a very good game himself. You got to choose at some point, right? So 4 minutes remaining. We haven't seen that guy. I wonder where he went. So I think we've picked our man of the match. 3 minutes 59 left in this game. 52 Canada, 37 Brazil. Now I'm looking for him. I can't find him.
He'll come, I'm sure. It's quite a promising lineup this for Canada for the future. They've got obviously Debley out there as a three-pointer.
That's what they're hoping, right? You got a lot of young guys out there.
Shane Smith is a 2-5, that spark plug guy, and mixed with the experience of Cody and Byron.
Matt Debley. Another try. And Abreu will bring it back, following Junior his pick. As soon as I say that, he goes away from his picker. So gives it back to Feitosa, who will run the offense here against the Canadian Key. Abreu sees an opening and takes it. It's a pass.
Nice quick inbound there from Caldwell. Good range on that right-hand pass of his.
Yeah, it's a good pass for a 2. Went in the air almost to half court. Kind of a line shot as opposed to like a rainbow. Up Feitosa to Abreu. Smith all by himself. Feitosa's gonna come at him, make him choose. And rather than choosing to pass, he chooses to juke him out of his shorts.
A little shake and bake there from Shane. Zach Medell there appreciating that one, I think.
All that, you turn your chair with your trunk. You don't even need your hands. That's a little easier to make that move. A lot easier to make that move. Set up once again in the key is Canada. Debley and Smith out front. Caldwell reaching in. Had his hand on the wheel of Feitosa, and I think that's going to be the call.
Yeah, I think we all saw that one, didn't we? I think he was trying to get away with it.
Let's watch right here. I didn't see it there. I must have missed it. Got it a little late. Did Will C teach you that, Caldwell? Feitosa will score it. Caldwell's going to inbound to get out of that situation, which I think he was doing anyway.
Sorry?
He was inbounding anyway, right? I don't know that there's anything gained in that situation other than, oh, nice opportunity for Brazil as Canada mishandles the pass there. It's not in a good place for Smith to get it. And that's number 6, Patrick. Feitosa hoping for that one.
Good spell here for Brazil.
55-41, 2 minutes, 10 seconds remaining. Canada will start looking at that clock as a tool. Caldwell all the way on the other side, wide open for that pass. Good separation by the offense. Abreu throws it up to, I'm not sure who. I don't think even Devley could have gotten to that one. I think he's probably pretty tired and pretty frustrated at this point. So Smith with the inbound.
Smith with another good move, but gets chased down by Feitosa.
Devley trying to help him out of there. Pick and roll, goes right to it.
Textbook pick and roll.
Matt's wife should be arriving pretty soon. They're taking their honeymoon as soon as this tournament's over.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, Devley goes down. And I think he's a little close to the action for them to let him lie. So we'll pick him back up, sweep up his sweat.
Very apt song.
Little Tom Petty for us.
DJ's got to have some fun with it, isn't he?
That's right. I'm sure he's got a whole lineup of apropos tunes. So Junior will inbound. Wow, that was quite a pass. Under the arm there of Patrick, but he wasn't able to catch it. I mean, he almost did, but there was too much defense there for him to reel it in as a low pointer. So Caldwell will be the beneficiary. Pressure by Feitosa. And up over the top to Smith.
Nice play there by Canada, scoring exactly when they want with 55 on the game clock.
Again, practicing good habits, right? I don't know that they need to practice their clock management. Feitosa at the line, able to keep enough momentum to get across. Little risky situation, but good heads-up play. And going for a ride is Patrick. Caldwell pushed him across, and since he did not have the ball, that'll be a turnover.
Smart plays those, you know, off the ball to gain a turnover from nowhere, really.
And one of those situations that is the worst as a player to get punched across that line. You know that you put yourself in a bad position and you just weren't prepared for it.
You look over at the ball handler, then
Boy, you do.
one of those moments where your heart sinks. Yeah.
Sorry about that one. Okay. So Feitosa going into the penalty box. He thought he had the held ball. The referee disagreed. 16 seconds remaining. Canada, no shot clock. You hear the bench counting it down. Debley wants to make this try happen so that he can show his coach he can handle this situation. 1 minute, 8 seconds remaining. 59-48 our score, and that is how we will finish. Congratulations to Team Canada on this victory. Brazil saw some good things there. There's some things they can capitalize on and some other things that they're really going to have to work on. I think communication is one of those things that I think we need to see a little better. But Brazil fighting hard to the end, as we, of course, will see in a game like this. This is World Championships. Everyone's here to win.
As Patrice gets his Player of the Game award.
Congrats to Pico. Dagenais. So